Washed Ashore is a nonprofit based in Oregon, Southern Oregon on the coast, and it's all about inspiring action around plastic pollution through art. So it was created now 12 years ago, 13 years ago, when our founding artist was walking the beaches of her hometown and realizing plastic was washing up on the beach, a place she loved, and wanted to then take that and turn it into art to inspire people to really do something to protect the ocean and the wildlife that call its home. Washed Ashore, like our name implies, uses materials that are literally washed ashore all along the Oregon coast. And we rely on a volunteer army of individuals and groups who work together to do beach cleanups in order to create pieces like the one you see behind me. This sculpture is Bella, our angelfish. And so the trash you're seeing is something on the outside of all of our pieces have been on the beach at one time and collected by volunteers, processed, cleaned, and turned into the materials then that come these beautiful sculptures. One of the philosophies with Washed Ashore in our art is in our mission is to make aesthetically powerful pieces. So we are an arts organization. And so we use a collective approach. So we really use volunteers under the direction of our artistic director, who follows the philosophies and the inspiration of our founder. Overall, we estimate that we've collected over 37 tons, so tons, 2,000 pounds each, of trash from the Oregon beaches in our history over the past 12 years. Wildlife is impacted by plastic pollution. You think of those birds nesting on the beach. Unfortunately, many animals mistake plastic for food. So ingesting plastic is one of the main ways it gets into the food chain and impacts animals. I first learned about this issue years ago when scientists were studying albatrosses living far away from people out in the middle of the Pacific, and how their nesting young were not surviving because when they looked at them closely, they realized the parents were mistakenly feeding them plastic. And so out in the open ocean, the birds were seeing these things and thinking they were fish. And so that's a key way. But then we do hear of, really sad incidents of marine mammals like whales or seals or dolphins getting entangled. Sea turtles are another example where the creatures can get entangled in plastic that's out floating in the ocean and become impacted. So that's why when you think about the things we buy can inadvertently end up impacting wildlife. It's really an important thing, if you love wildlife, to think about how our individual actions can really support and help conserve them through the things we purchase or don't use or replace in our everyday life. If you think about the Missouri River leading to the Mississippi leading to the Gulf of Mexico, trash here does end up in the ocean from inland sources. So in our mission, we actually call out waterways and marine because it is a watershed concept. If you think about 33 states, including Nebraska, feed into the Gulf of Mexico through the Mississippi River, plastic here then does end up in that and cause harm to wildlife. When you think about humans and the impact on us, what we don't realize is that microplastics, or tiny bits of plastic, really small ones, are ending up in the food chain. So if you go back to animals mistaking plastic for food, well, it's something that's in the food chain now. And so if you love seafood, like I do, you have to realize that that's something that is potentially in our food source, as well as in the packaging and things that we purchase every day. That bits of plastic are actually ending up inside of us. And so it is a human impact, no matter where you live, to consider and reflect on how you can reduce that in your daily life. There's a spectrum of responses. So the first one from far away is just like, ooh, ah, because I'm proud of our artists' work and they're beautiful sculptures to start with. And then as they approach them for the first time and see the items and realize that they're made from plastic, there's all sorts of reflections and awareness that come to different people. And when you see the items that we purposely place on the exterior that are things we use in our everyday life, like sand toys or shoes and flip-flops or plastic bottle caps or toothbrushes, It's hopefully getting everyone to reflect on the plastic in our own life. But most importantly, we love when people have that awe moment. It really is the inspiration art can bring. But we also hear comments around it's shockingly beautiful or horribly lovely, because really when you think about all of this coming from the beaches of just Oregon, that this is a global problem that we're tracking with a creative solution, or as I like to say, we take an ugly problem and make a beautiful solution. Well, one of the things that we use that's most commonly found are plastic single-use water bottles. So we have a jelly bloom here at the garden, so not just the plants are blooming, but the jellies are as well. We have a group of them suspended in the temperate conservatory made from plastic water bottles. So that's why, again, that's something so simple we encourage people to replace.